Well, I would like to take the time to wish a happy Father's Day to everyone. This video probably won't be posted until the day after, but a belated Father's Day, happy Father's Day. This weekend has really been something. Actually, it all started in the middle of last week when silver took a giant jump from like $32 to $36. That's kind of important, and I was going to make some videos to discuss it on my other channel, but I've been overwhelmed with the other events that have happened since then. The attack on Iran, the escalation of things in the Middle East, and then this weekend we had the, celebration in 250 years of the United States Army with our big military parade. The anti-King protests set throughout the whole country on said same day yesterday on Saturday. Then you throw it in, President Trump's birthday, which throwing that in with the parade pissed off a whole bunch of people. And then in the middle of all of this, riots. The riots have been going on also for a while in Los Angeles, and I believe have spread to 2 or 3 other major cities. And then icing on the cake, the assassination of said political figures in, I think, Minnesota, or was it Michigan, whatever. Yeah, that's really not good. That's not good for anybody. And again, suspect at large has not been captured yet. Okay, so I used to make a lot of videos about these different political things and that, and different things, trying to keep up with current events with the election and everything, but really, it's just so much over this weekend that my thoughts are all just jumbled up. Too many things happening at once, okay? Protests and the riots, and if you look at any news agency, be it the internet or what's going on YouTube, you can see one thing from one extreme to the other. The riots in Los Angeles and the National Guard, involving the National Guard and everything. There's 2 or 3 different sides to it, and really when you cut through all the nonsense, nothing illegal is being done, okay? Because they're saying that state law enforcement has to be overwhelmed in order for the president to federalize the troops. Supposedly, if they're overwhelmed, can't do their job, then they bring the National Guard in to assist. So they said he's doing it illegally. But the thing is, what everyone forgets, and it's plain as day, the people being overwhelmed and attacked are the federal law enforcement agencies of ICE and I guess Customs and Immigrations or something, or Customs. I forget, there's 2 federal agencies going through an ICE detention center. And yes, people are overwhelming them, and that's why they brought the National Guard in, which the president does have the legal right to do that. So you see, you get all this mumbo jumbo in that, and the problem is, okay, that's one problem. So then they have this protest timed to the celebration of the United States Army 250-year anniversary, and there was a parade. And it was also done on the president's birthday. Okay, now any of you watch the parade? I did. The military parade in Moscow it's better to watch. I mean, I watched it. It's fancier, all their dress uniforms, and this year they had all these foreign troops. It was pretty nice. The parade here, you had the paratroopers come in, you had the flyby, World War II planes, World War II armored vehicles, and the United States Army was dressed, units were dressed historically from the Revolution in just about every major war. World War II was represented, Vietnam, Desert Storm, which was, pretty cool, and then an assortment of new and old vehicles, tanks on parade, and that standard military parade, celebrating that. And I kind of don't see what the problem is with that. If you really don't like this country that much or think it's a waste of money or something, pack your shit up and go somewhere else, no big deal. But you see some people say it's a giant humiliation to President Trump and all this other stuff. I watched it. It was a very interesting parade, most of it. Standard parade type of thing, no frills or that. It's, alright, and I don't see anything wrong with it, but protests abound, and everyone says it was terrible, and I don't really understand how they're reporting that it was a humiliation to Trump, but you see that too. And in the midst of all this, a couple state legislators, some state senators and that, very, very unusual. Now, there's going to be a lot of this. This is a very strange thing happening, coinciding with this. Somebody disguised as a police officer actually shot 4 people in an assassination. Okay, this ain't a random thing. A lot of bizarre things, a lot of confusing points, and obviously this individual, they know who he is, returned fire to the police and kind of miraculously disappeared on foot, not to be found, and still at large. So that's another one. And then, of course, the rioting just about everywhere. I don't know if they had protests in Raleigh or Durham. I do know they had some sort of pride rally in Winston-Salem, but that wasn't more of a protest, I believe, more than because it's Pride Month or something like that. But yeah, I haven't seen anything. It's been quiet here. That's why I like living where I live. It's quiet. But I mean, awful lot going on, guys. It's crazy. There's a lot of things I'd like to comment on and talk about, but so much at once, it's overwhelming. And another question that pops up, is there actually some sort of behind-the-scenes civil war going on, in this country right now? The days of singing, I wish I was in the land of cotton, where old times are not forgotten. Look away, look away, look away, Dixieland. Those days are over. But the mechanisms in place that created that problem all those years ago kind of somewhat are there. If you're looking to where a lot of these protests for ICE are going on, this no king stuff, and these people are going totally berserk over anything and everything to do with President Trump, are in states, and like New York State is one of them, where lawlessness, people are not arrested short of murder. People can do whatever they want. They'll be taken to a police station, issued a ticket, or held for a while and let go. So the average citizen, like my friends that still live there, tell me, somebody walks into your yard or, grabs your lawnmower or something or steals something, you call the police and they'll ask you, did they threaten to kill you? And you say, no, they're just taking my lawnmower, my property. We ain't coming. They hang the phone up on you. And if they do catch people for, vandalism or robbery, petty theft, I guess you gotta steal something over $1,000 or that, or something like that. And maybe even if they do, they just let them go for theft. It's not a thing. So these states and these protests are usually in the states where you have these sanctuary cities and they're trying to force immigration laws, and it's creating a ruckus. Okay, now throwing in this politicians getting knocked off, that's not good. That to me is probably the most scariest thing that's happened this weekend, because this opens the door to who knows what is going to happen next. Very, very frightening situation. I'm glad they had the parade. I'm glad they're celebrating the 250th year of the armed forces, the different branches of the service and everything. I know the Navy, I don't know when that one is, but there's t-shirts and ball caps out there celebrating the same thing. And I don't know. So I just wanted to get out, say something. It's been eating at me because I got all these thoughts in my head and all this content that I can make just discussing all these different topics that are all kind of happening at once. And a lot of very, frightening things going on. Pretty serious stuff, And again, if you go on YouTube, the whole spectrum from one end to the other, there's somebody commenting or making an opinion on it. And there was one I caught where a billionaire is funding all of these protests. Now, why would that be? And come to find out, if they use the illegal immigrants for cheap labor for a lot of large industries, and you'll find in these states a lot of, be it either farming industry or manufacturing industry, a lot of these people are part of the cheap labor system, put it that way. They're there, they're subsidized by the government, and it makes probably a private farm or a private manufacturing facility or business profitable by paying them an extremely minimum wage, which to the illegal immigrants, they're doing pretty good because they're being subsidized with different social programs. And they don't have to worry about medical. One of them was their medical is paid for. Okay, I wish I had that, But this is a problem. And I can see where these people, to keep investors and the profit margins high, wealthy people probably are backing this insurrections and protests and violent stuff that's going on. And actually several of these protests sprang up for other agencies like the ATF and the FBI. They have nothing to do with ICE and nothing to do with illegal immigration, but they've blown some undercover operations. One was a murder investigation, and they impeded the ATF and the FBI in issuing warrants for drug trafficking, arms, human trafficking, and a whole bunch of other illegal activities. They have nothing to do with immigration. So when our legal system is breaking down, where the citizens just blindly attack law enforcement because they see law enforcement, and even the wrong department of law enforcement they're attacking, we got some serious problems. But I don't want to ramble on forever. I will be trying to break it down into shorter videos. I know this is getting long already. But try breaking down each topic for discussion. I know people kind of like it. I do get a lot of comments and responses, and I'm going to try to sort all this out. But like this weekend was unreal. I've never seen nothing like it in my life. All of these things at once. And some of them are quite serious, So we'll see. hit the like button, subscribe, stay tuned, and have a great Father's Day, guys. All right, thank you.